Happy Tuesday morning and welcome to another episode of Mornings with the Outlaw. I am the Outlaw, John Rocha, here live from what's left of the Outlaw Nation studios here in Beverly Hills as we make our impending move in a couple of days down to San Diego. And you'll see a better background from me once we do the show again next week. But Alex Shashek is joining again, riding shotgun, one of the best voices in the business right now. How are you doing?
One of the best voices in the business. You lie so sweetly, and I appreciate that. I really, really do. Man, I am excited about today in particular. There's a lot of interesting news, a lot of interesting stories that I'm really excited to chat about. So I don't want to waste any more time, John.
All right, fair enough. Let's get into it. Thanks to all of you who are joining us live already this morning, about 30 of you right now. I know those numbers will increase, but I always love the diehard ones that show up with us right on time to start the show with us as well. So much love to you all, and keep doing the things that you're doing to support the Outlaw Nation. We can't thank you enough. And one of the ways you can do that, of course, is on every episode of Mornings with the Outlaw. Send in your Streamlabs, send in your Super Chats, send in the things you want us to talk about. We'll address them in between each subject for sure as we get into things today. So thank you all so much, and don't forget to hit that like button as well. And if those of you who are watching us later, because some of you do watch us after we record live, leave a comment below at some point during the video. The more comments you leave, the more likes you leave, elevates the visibility of this show and this channel, and we keep building slowly but surely, but it's happening, and I can't thank you all enough for being a part of it. All right, here we go. Let's jump into our first story, and our first story here deals with what we've got going on with D23. Let's jump into that first, actually. The Disney 23 situation is happening. It is being pushed to 2022, Alex. It's a shame that this is happening, but this is pretty much expected. Don't tell the organizers of the Los Angeles Comic-Con. Apparently, they think they can have a Comic-Con in December live in a convention center, no problem. They're out of their freaking minds. But Disney understands they're a big business. They have to do things in a certain way and not get into any trouble. And certainly, this is a smart move for them, pushing their D23 Expo to 2022. They announced it on Twitter as well. It's been held in Anaheim every other year. It was originally slated to take place earlier this year in summer of 2021, and now it's being pushed to September 9th through the 11th of 2022, which is 1 year before the 100th anniversary of Disney being founded and created, and they'll use the event, it's what is being reported here, to kickstart the company's 100th anniversary celebration. The last one that was held was in August of 2019. I think I was there, but I don't remember. I've done so many things since then, and I can't really, make them make sense in my mind or line them up in my brain. That's when it'll happen. I know I've covered it before in years past. So the next one, as we said, will be in 2022. This is all happening because of the pandemic and everything that's happening. But this is an interesting situation too, Alex, because so much will have happened since 2019 into 2022. Already in the last year, so much has happened. All these series will have come out. Some of these movies will have come out. Hopefully, some of these movies will have come out. All of this stuff will have happened here for Disney. So what do you anticipate this 2022 event to be? What do you think we're going to see? What do you think we're going to get? Do you think it's going to be an insane celebration? Do you think because they have 3 years to prepare, it'll be even more magical and incredible to witness?
It's I don't know. Honestly, it's just, when people go to these conventions, what is the purpose? It's not something supposed to be, most dominantly fans. It's for promoters. Yeah. It's for, it is for, writers, and it's for journalists, it's for photographers, things of that nature. It's the real purpose is to remind you why Disney is amazing, obviously. Right. And they're going to be celebrating like 100 years, so it's going to be a huge deal, obviously. And an event like that takes massive preparation. So, hearing that it could possibly take, that it does take 2 years, I'm like, obviously, that's like a no-brainer to me. I did a professional corporate event organization when I was throughout college. Okay. And it was just like, and there's like some events that are like, you can do in 3 months, other times it's 6, but there's some that require a good 9 to 12 months of preparation. Right. But something of this size, Yeah, it's absolutely. There's a lot to consider.
Yeah.
But they also have to remember that obviously that changing the timeline of when they actually do it is going to be changing the different kind of services that they're going to provide, that also the different types of movies that they're going to highlight. So some movies that they were really going to show off isn't really going to be a focus at all anymore.
Yeah, it's a fair point. The last year's D23, they included giant Marvel exhibits and a kiosk to sign up for Disney Plus and save $23 per year on a 3-year subscription to the streaming service. They presented previews of things like Frozen 2, Onward, Soul, Black Widow, Eternals, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, Mulan, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, Jungle Cruise, and Cruella, along with some Fox projects like Ford versus Ferrari, Spies in Disguise, and The King's Man. A lot of those, or at least The King's Man and Jungle Cruise have been delayed. You know, we know the long history of Mulan. Eternals has been delayed. The less said about Rise of Skywalker for most people, I believe, the better. Black Widow's been delayed. Soul's been delayed. Onward was able to get out in time onto the screens, but then quickly dumped onto the streaming services, and so was Frozen 2. So that will we see more of that, I wonder. And for those of you who need a little bit of a history on D23 quickly, it's the official fan club for the Walt Disney Company. The group was founded in 2009 with Bob Iger unveiling it at the company's annual meeting. It's best known for its exposition event, the D23 Expo, and you can join to become a member here, and it includes discounts and early access to the convention. The one that was supposed to be held next year was going to be the 7th one, but of course now that'll be pushed to 2022. I think this is a smart move by Disney overall. They don't know what the situation is going to be, and like you said, Alex, 9 to 12 months to prepare something this far out. When you see all the problems that are happening, a lot of the unknown, a lot of the X factors. There's rumors already that people are talking about this new term called the twindemic, where the flu and and coronavirus could hit us all in the fall months, depending on what city you're in. So already a lot of people are bracing for a possible worst case situation going on here. We don't know how the country's going to react to it. We got an election coming up. There's so many unstable factors happening in our world right now and across the globe, as the UK starts to shut down all over again, as other countries are looking to shut down all over again because they slowly reopened, but then spikes started happening because people were desperate to get out there, didn't want to wear masks, and now you see the results. So these kinds of things are happening all over the world, not just in this country. So Disney, I think, realizes, because it is an international exhibition, that they probably would be best to push it one more extra year to see how people react, to wait till things get normal, and to build up the hype for it as well.
Yeah, I do think they also, at the time, they're going to be watching some other major conventions, see how they react first. They're going to do a little, they're going to do. That's a great point. Yep. Yeah. So, obviously, like you said earlier, that like LA, not the LA Comic-Con, obviously, but whatever that, convention is that's still going on, they're still doing in person down in California. Yep. They're going to be waiting. That's obviously, we can't really compare the two because D23 is massive in scope. Disney is not exactly like a small, TV company, guys. So we have to remember that when they're putting this together, it's gonna be a situation. Yeah, it's massive. They would be making announcements regarding, huge timelines, huge panels, for so many of the different franchises and everything they're associated with, and and they really need to see, not only if they can even have it at all, and by watching, they need to make sure it's postponed, accordingly, but they need to make sure that they would even know how to do it according to potential new laws that would be in place, for safety concerns. Yeah,
absolutely. Just to give a little background with the LA Comic-Con, it was reported by the LA Times that it is moving forward. The LA Comic-Con is moving forward with its plans to hold an in-person convention in December at the LA Convention Center. But at this point, large gatherings such as conventions and conferences are not permitted anywhere in California amid the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. The event's organizers explained in a Sunday announcement on the LA Comic-Con website that they have been working with the convention center and taking guidance from state and local officials to plan an event they think, quote, will be safe and fun for attendees and exhibitors. But Dwayne Liu, I hope I'm saying that right, or Don Liu, the executive director of the Los Angeles Department of Convention and Tourism Development, told the Times that this announcement came as a surprise and it is premature. Liu said under current state health guidelines, conventions are not allowed. It's not known when they will be allowed. So this is a fascinating exploration. People are desperate to get back to normal, but I think this rush to do conventions, this rush to do these kinds of things and put people in danger or in jeopardy, because remember, these are international exhibitions. So yes, people will come over to the States. Yes, maybe they'll be quarantined, maybe they won't be quarantined. I don't know the situation here, but it's a lot of hassle and a lot of possibilities where you could catch this thing. So certainly that's something that to be worried about as well. But I think Disney's making the right move. I think the LA conventions, I think the LA Comic-Con is not making the right move at all. And I'm sure your cat agrees. I would have the same problems as well. I love it.
My cat is very concerned about the potential phase 5 and 6 announcements for MCU and about the Jungle Cruise. Oh gosh, I'm crying. Oh my gosh.
Is that Catwoman? Is that Catwoman?
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's a great question.
Oh, he's so ridiculous. I'm so sorry.
Well, because we just found out this morning, and here's the little thing, just according to the Tennessee Titans in the NFL, 8 players just tested positive for the Tennessee Titans for COVID. 8 players. And then the Premier League, the English Premier League, yesterday, as I was watching the Liverpool game during halftime, the announcer there who runs it, Rebecca Lowe, who runs the NBC Sports coverage of it, she said that the Premier League did the standard testing that they usually do daily, and after Sunday's games, they found 10 positives for COVID. That's the most they've found in months. So things are starting to possibly slowly spike up again, and that should scare everybody. That should scare the studios into making certain decisions, making certain, looking at certain ideas and making some switches here and some changes here. Certainly Disney doing that with the convention center, I think, is kind of smart. With their convention, rather, is very smart. Okay, let's see. We got a couple of Streamlabs here, Alex, or actually 3 of them here. Ben Rayner sent in. Thank you, Ben. He said, morning, Rocha and Alex. Happy Tuesday. Hope you both had a great weekend. What's harder for you to watch? A terrible movie that's so bad that it's memorable, or a movie that's so generic and paint by numbers that it's blah? I would say for me, a blah is worse. Yeah, Alex, what about you? A terrible movie that's so bad it's memorable, or a movie that's just so paint by the numbers that you're bored by it?
Well, it's actually kind of perfect because not yesterday, but the day before yesterday, I watched 2 horrible movies that I absolutely enjoyed. I watched what I think, honestly, looking back, I'm like, is it inspired double feature? Maybe. Am I amazing for picking these? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I watched for the first time Lake Placid and Anaconda. And Betty White in Lake Placid is everything. She is like goals. She's just casually just feeding these massive anyway, but that's not the point of the conversation. I'm still crying about the cat. I'm so sorry. I'm right. Like, why? It's so just cute. Like, oh gosh, it's so aggressive.
It's so cute.
Today. But I had so much fun with it. Thing is, I was talking with Lucas about movies last night, and as to me, when it comes to making so much of these like actively bad movies, it's clear that they had so much fun with them. That's the ridiculousness, and that just adds to your enjoyment as a viewer. Like, I watch Anaconda, and I'm like, this is trash. Whatever. Ice Cube, J-Lo, Owen Wilson. What the heck are you doing here? Right. But in particular, what's his name? Jeremiah. What's his name?
Oh, Sheridan, John Voight. Yeah.
No. John Voight, him in particular, he is just having so much fun with this Portuguese voice.
Oh yeah, whatever it is he's doing. Yeah,
and it's delightful. It's delightful. Oh.
Yeah, Brett does a great imitation of him because it's such a bad accent. But yeah, I mean,
so great.
I would agree that I think the terrible movie that is memorable is more my style than a movie that is boring and paint by the numbers. That being said, though, it depends, because certainly a lot of the Van Damme films are kind of paint by the numbers, but I had a great time watching those films when I was growing up. And some of the Stallone vehicles are a little paint by numbers, but like Cobra, but I had a great time watching those films. Then again, though, those films could be bad, so bad that they're memorable, so bad that they're good. That might be actually more where they belong rather than paint by the numbers. So I'd agree with you. And being a Transformers fan, I kind of have to say, yeah, to me, it's about bad movies that are memorable over movies that are blah and boring. So I think I have to answer in that way. All right. More like Jean-Claude Van Bless. Yeah, that's bad. Cinema. That's bad. I appreciate you trying.
I have to say I've never seen a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, to be completely honest.
Wow.
Never. Oh my gosh! But the thing is, okay, growing up, I was huge into what the fuck do you want?
Just that attention. I dig it.
He's not even in the same room.
Doesn't even go here.
Exactly. He's not even in the same room, and he's in the kitchen.
I love
like
it.
On the other side of this wall. I don't get it. But so but I personally was much more of a Bruce Lee girl. I love me some Chuck Norris.
Right.
It's I was like, if we're gonna talk about some bad good movies, Chuck Norris.
Yeah, Chuck Norris, truly. A lot of bad good movies. Yeah.
It's just so. Again, it's clear he's having a great time, and you can make an entire category on the Schmodown wheel slice.
Yeah, you could.
On random Chuck Norris cameos. Dodgeball. Need I say more?
Yeah. The Expendables 3 or 2, one of those, he walks in the middle of it as well. Yeah.
Randomly. I love it.
It's great. Let's see. Cinema Gorilla said, I wanted to be a Disney shill this year. I joined Club 23 and I got a private tour of Walt's office before the events got canceled. I also got a Disneyland pass and the park closed 2 months later. Maybe when things open up again, you too, Outlaw, can shill. We shall see. Going to the theme parks isn't always a thing that I necessarily like to do. I don't mind doing it once or twice a year, but certainly not something I run to, but it's something to explore, certainly. And maybe I've got some strong connections over at Disney. The couple of publicists that I've had conversations with and connections with still have been very kind to the Outlaw Nation. So absolutely, that is a possibility. CSJ Megatron donated. Thank you. Said Hawkman should have been black from his creation. Egypt is in Africa, and Egypt wasn't colonized until after its fall. So during the reigns of the pharaohs, Egyptians would have been black. Hollywood has whitewashed black Egyptian history. All right, man. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Alex.
Have we seen any Hawkman?
I mean, in the comics, certainly, but not
the comics is one thing. So I mean, I just personally can't think of any.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Only in the comics.
Screen.
Yeah, only in the comics. And we haven't seen any comics. Hawkman on the big screen. There have been Hawkman animated in the animated film, TV shows and stuff, but I don't think we've seen one on screen. So that's the situation there. All right. No more Streamlabs and Megatron. We're going to talk about that in just a second here, what you brought up. Please keep sending in your Streamlabs and Super Chats. We've got 115 of y'all watching us right now and only 50 likes. So please get that number up there. Get us to 100 likes as soon as you can. Hit that thumbs up button and give us some love here on the channel. We certainly would appreciate it. So I brought this up to put on the rundown today, and that's the Hawkman news. I know that Aldous Hodge has been confirmed by Dwayne Johnson that he is going to be playing Black Adam in this. Playing Hawkman in this Black Adam film that's coming out. It's further proof that Black Adam is going to be taking on the Justice Society of America already. Hawkman, who's just announced, Dr. Fate has been announced. Cyclone has been announced, and Adam Smasher has been announced, and Adam Smasher is going to be played by Noah Centineo. We haven't heard who Cyclone is or who Dr. Fate is just yet, but as I said, Aldous Hodge will be playing Hawkman. Of course, this teased more about what's going to be coming for Black Adam as well, possibly taking on Shazam. Zachary Levi said that probably wouldn't happen until Shazam 3. And then Johnson also teased the fact that Black Adam could go up against the Justice League. And here's the crazy thing about this Justice Society versus the Justice League. Justice Society of America has had Black Adam as a member in the past before. So what is this thing they're teasing here between Black Adam and Hawkman and Dr. Fate and Atom Smasher and others? Is this going to be a situation where he fights them initially, and then by the end, they're like the possibility of teaming up pops up in this situation? But the reason I'm bringing this up, Alex, and for the people who are watching as well, is Hawkman has a very interesting history in the comic books, and already this article put a really interesting idea in my head. And I got to give love to Richard Newby over at THR. He's the one who wrote this thing, and he mentioned the fact that they could be doing this to spin Hawkman off into his own series, his own franchise as a possibility. And wouldn't that be interesting, this idea that Hawkman, who is according to numerous iterations now, once you combine the lore of him, he's essentially been an immortal. He's been around for a very, very long time. Initially he was a god who was connected to this guy, and then Carter Hall, and then there was more involved here. Yeah, what's your thoughts here?
Well, there's different versions of his origin story. Now, him being a god and going through ancient Egypt and everything, that's one adaptation of his origin story. Just want to clarify. Now, I do hope that's the direction they go in, because I would love for them to explore that. I watched... I can't remember. I watched X-Men Apocalypse. The movie's trash, but I had a lot of fun with that opening scene where it takes place in ancient Egypt and the origins of Apocalypse. Or what we think is the origins of Apocalypse per se. Now, it was definitely a fun time, and I'd love to see that explored for sure. Thing is, there are other options, so I do want to just give y'all a heads up. Hawkman, there's the origin stories. I can't remember if it's from the Golden Age or whatever, maybe, or Silver Age. There's so many ages in comics. Where he's actually an alien from another planet, very similar to a Martian Manhunter, as well, where he's like one of the last of his kind, and similar to Superman, as a result of being here for so many times, he kind of developed a certain set. He developed a lot of skills. To really kind of combat that. And his Hawkman, he's like you said, he is essentially immortal. Him and his lady, and they always come together for some magical reason. Wait, is it his lady friend, or is it
his wife, Hawk Woman,
his wife?
Yeah. It was Hawk Girl, and then it becomes Hawk Woman.
Yes, I would say, but overall.
Do you want to handle that real quick, and we'll keep going?
I'm going to be right back. I'm going to double check food and water. It's good. I have no idea. I checked earlier, but what the heck? I'm going to be right back, y'all.
Don't worry. I'll keep going with these origin stories. According to the Hollywood Reporter, and this is something you can also Google for yourself, or some of you may be knowledgeable about the Hawkman, numerous incarnations of him. But as I said, right at the beginning, he was connected to this guy, Carter Hall, who's an archaeologist, and it was the reincarnation of the Egyptian prince Khufu, but later was rebooted by Gardner Fox and Joe Kubert. Gardner Fox and Dennis Neville created the character, but later Gardner Fox and Joe Kubert rebooted Hawkman as Qatar Hall, an alien policeman from the planet Thanagar. Some of you probably, that's the most common reference to Hawkman, is the connection to Thanagar. And then Hawkgirl and Hawkwoman were introduced, and then Crisis on Infinite Earths created more confusion, moving the character's history and place around in DC Comics. And then recently, writer Robert Venditti managed to take all the various elements of the character and his various lives and move them into one mythology centered on the idea that Khufu, and that is the Egyptian prince, wasn't simply reincarnated on DC Earth's Prime, but across the multiverse as well. And it's his comic series, Venditti's comic series, which began in 2018, that spun out of Dark Knight's Metal, that seems like, according to the writer here, it might be the perfect basis for a spin-off set in the DCEU. We don't know what Jem Collins Sarah is going to do with this film and how he'll utilize Hawkman in this film. But there's a lot to explore. This idea of seeing immortality through the eyes of a black man, through a man who's lived through centuries, a man who's seen the progression of the world through centuries. It's very interesting. We rarely get to see immortals that are black and then through their eyes see the history of the world, right? We saw like the opening of Black Panther kind of gave us a little bit of that mythology in that kind of purple sand animation that decorates the opening of Black Panther. So this idea of having seen multiple centuries of a creation of a country and its people and what they went through and everything like that. So seeing something that's even older than that, seeing the before Christ, the BC years, what was that like? And especially set in Egypt, what was their connections? What the Pharaoh's situation, the slavery times there? What is that all about? So much to explore here with this. And I love the article because it could spin off, because Hawkwoman is not supposed to show up apparently in Black Adam. So this Hawkman franchise could spin off and be its own thing with Hawkwoman, with Thanagar, with the possibility of their people and what that all means and what they've experienced here on Earth. So a lot of that is so interesting. And then, of course, Black Adam being played by The Rock, who is half black. That would be interesting as well to when you look at both these situations here. Let's take Alex off for just a second, and we'll bring her back on when she's ready to come back on. But that's also something to consider as well, as what we can see there, Alex, with having both The Rock and Black Adam as two black actors. Being immortal, having lived and ruled their own separate kingdoms, what that would be like when their Titanic clash happens, both in Black Adam, and how that decorates if Hawkman spinoff if it becomes a franchise on its own.
Let's face it, both these beautiful men are incredibly immortal already. They don't need to somehow turn into a fictional story. I'm really excited for this casting, obviously getting that, potential ancient Egypt, Middle Eastern, African, interpretation of the story. That'd be really, really cool. At the same time, I am really kind of curious to think if they're going to be diving into that, how are they going to do? I mean, they're definitely, well, the thing is, I think that they had a lot of success, obviously, with Diana. Yeah. With, Wonder Woman, her, portrayal of the Mascara, obviously that ancient world with gods and goddesses and everything that's kind of Greek, not Greek, but, like the Greek Roman, gods, that kind of thing. I think that they could really translate, efficiently, with, ancient Egypt in particular. And that's definitely a time where we don't really see all that much on screen. And honestly, I am really kind of curious to see someone like Zack Snyder at the helm, maybe not as director, but really being involved in a lot of the visuals. Because, you may not like 300, but let's face it, 300 is a gosh darn beautiful time. Time. It's gorgeous. And I would love to see some of those kind of visual cues really be translated into this movie.
Yeah, and I think all of that is in play here when you think about it, especially when you said in Egypt, but then also the progression through the centuries. What is this? What has what has Hawkman seen through the centuries of this planet, or the centuries of multiple planets? What has he experienced, or what has he brought to Earth when he's here now, during this time? And what's this battle with Black Adam? Have they fought through the years? Have him and Black Adam have a strong history together? Is Hawkman who they rely on to come in and kind of go toe to toe with Black Adam? Because Hawkman's no slouch. So in terms of the fighting department, he's got that huge mace he wheels around. So there's a lot here with Hawkman that could be explored overall. So I'd like to see that. And of course, the Hollywood Reporter article also mentioned something really interesting in that there are spin-offs of Wonder Woman, Aquaman, the Batman, and Suicide Squad already planned for either theatrical or HBO Max release. It releases, so it seems like it's only a matter of time before Black Adam receives one as well. So why wouldn't Hawkman spin off, possibly be its own series on HBO Max? That could be something too, because I don't think you cast Aldous Hodge as Hawkman for a one-off. I think you got to keep in, and Hawkman's been part of the Justice League for a long time. Yeah, go ahead.
I definitely agree with you there. I think that they are also, really trying to figure out how they're trying to fix this whole Ray Fisher situation. Obviously, there's a lot of rumor whether or not they're not going to do the Cyborg movie anymore. They're considering, whether or not Ray Fisher should be recast. They should take them out altogether. They're not entirely sure right now what to do. But what they do know is that they might not have Ray Fisher moving forward realistically within the DCEU. That's a hard truth. And let's face it, what does the DCEU need? A person of color. A person of color, definitely, that's going to be more involved at the helm of these big projects. And I do think that obviously, since they might be thinking, well, we're obviously not going to have Ray Fisher. We need to add another really awesome, really notable and amazing, Black superhero, to really potentially not so much take over that role, per se, but also we just need someone to really kind of step in a little bit and kind of take over some of those potential storylines. Yeah,
and I'll be honest with you. I mean, Cyborg is a cool character, is a good character. Certainly works on Teen Titans, but I don't think Cyborg is at the level of the mythology of these original Justice League members. Even Hawkman, who has been around for a very long time as part of the Justice League, more so, I believe, than Cyborg, carries more mythology and more history to his character. But yeah, you've got Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, because Cyborg is mostly Teen Titans. He's rarely called up to the big leagues to play with the Justice League in that way. So I've always seen it as what do you call it? Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, and Martian Manhunter. That seems to be usually the one. And then you add Hawkman, and then down the you get Cyborg. Yeah, go ahead.
One that really hurts my soul, you say that, and so I'm trying not to scream right now.
You can scream.
I'm not gonna do it. No, I don't want to trigger my cats again.
Okay.
I do not want to trigger my cats. I don't agree with you there. I feel like I don't think it's not so much ageist, but it's quite an assumption that since he doesn't have this huge, rich backlog history, he's not some really fantastical mythological character. He is a great character with so much, mythology surrounding the idea of him. He was an American citizen. He was plans to go to a really fantastic college, and he was an athlete. He's incredibly intelligent. Obviously, his dad was a scientist, trying to fix him, and things happen, unfortunately, and that is how it happened. He is a man that was created by an accident. Right. He is this. There, you can really talk about Frankenstein. You can really talk about the origins of. You can talk about AI. Obviously, there's so many really intense, dark themes that you can really bring to light and highlight because of Cyborg. Yeah. Now, sure, he is not one of the original few, but I also, to be completely honest, never really thought of Hawkman as one of the original few or Green Lantern personally.
What?
And I stand by it. I'm sorry.
That's ageist. I'm sorry. That's ageist.
No, why is that ageist? I just never thought of him. It's not so much, because I do think, skill-wise, he can 100% step up to the plate. He 100% deserves to be in there, Batman. But it just comes down to he is also, the Cyborg is also one of the only relatable characters, and Batman, that on screen, especially for a young person, in this group of immortals and aliens, and also he's also one of the only, and he is one of the only characters with, he's funny. And he could really hold his own with the competitors. He's just like, hey, Superman, you're cool and all, but shove it, he can have that relationship with a lot of those characters that I don't think I don't think Hawkman can have that relationship with some of the other not competitors. I don't want to say competitors, but characters.
So a little bit of history real quick. Justice League 1962, February of 1962, Justice League of America number 9 does the flashback of how the Justice League was created. And the charter members are Aquaman, Batman, Flash, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Those are the charter members.
I'm sorry. Is that supposed to mean anything?
Yes.
No.
You said that. I don't really. I'm saying that like he's one of the central people of
I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be on.
Right.
I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be it. I'm saying that I consider him so much more to be than just a sideline character. That that like where
Cyborg or Green Lantern? Cyborg or Green Lantern? Who are you saying?
Cyborg. Green Lantern, obviously, sure. I just don't see him as actively. I see him as in a spin-off series kind of thing. I see him. He has a potential to have his own full-fledged adventures and everything. Well, arguably. All these characters do, but I feel like I would be much more excited for Green Lantern to just do his own thing versus Cyborg. I really, really think that his strengths as a character are highlighted when he is part of a unit more than anything, rather than in a solo movie.
I agree. He was originally a member of the Teen Titans, that's Cyborg, and then was established as a founding member of the Justice League in 2011's reboot by DC of its comic book title. So they kind of retconned him as a founding member of the Justice League. So I get it, but it's not for certain people of my age. Like it's like, well, I don't really think of him as a charter member of the Justice League. DC can redo anything they want. But for those of us who read these comics for quite some time and we grew up on them, we know who the charter members are of the Justice League. And it's great that they want to include Cyborg. I think it's a smart move. Of course, you want to have a person of color. 1,000% agree. More women would be good too. Black Canary becomes a member of the Justice League for a while. If you read Justice League International or the old Justice League from Jim Tice, you have Fire and Ice, you have Mary Marvel. There's more females involved. Not as many people of color. That's for damn sure in the Justice League. So those kinds of situations need to be changed. So wouldn't it be interesting if you have Hawkman and Cyborg and Wonder Woman and possibly another female character involved, maybe Black Canary or somebody else in this Justice League? I'd be down with that. We have 500 Avengers now that are all throughout these movies. So there's no reason the Justice League can't expand its roster as well, Alex. It's an excellent point you brought up earlier about needing more color in the Justice League. I 1,000% agree. And Cyborg certainly would handle that issue, and so would Hawkman and eventually Hawkwoman, depending on how they go. Do they go with a black Hawkwoman as well, or do they go with a woman of color, another woman of color, or do they go with a white woman? I don't know where they're going to go, but Hawkwoman at least brings another feminine character into, or female character rather, into the Justice League. So yeah, certainly. And we do need a Hispanic hero. We do. And I'm getting really sick and tired of the fact that we're getting kind of overlooked in this whole, like, let's help people of color thing. Latinos too. Latinos fucking matter too, people. All right. 40% of the return business in movie theaters are Latinos. 40%. And it's about time in this superhero genre that they start catering to our audience as well and start creating characters for us as well. And don't give me Miles Morales. Don't give me Blue Beetle. Don't give me a character that was created by white people, that was originally, uniformed by a white person in that uniform, and then hand it over to a Latino and claim that you now have Latino heroes. Bullshit. Create new Latino heroes that will work in this system. That's what I want to see. Put them in the Justice League. Put them in the Avengers. Put them in these big, give them their own franchise. Put them in these big properties, because I'm just sick and tired of not seeing us be a part of this universe more consistently. So, the Jessica Cruz is Green Lantern. Sure. But that's, again, it was Hal Jordan first. We got to create our own. And so I hope there are Latino comic book writers out there and the Latino, or at least people who are allies of Latinos who are involved in the comic books, high up in these comic book companies and in these studios who want to bring these characters in and create franchises and movies around them.
It really kind of makes I know, like you said, when it came to Cyborg, he's more of a rebooted, character that was added into the Justice League, but in that case, if we're as a result, we should maybe consider like more ageless, more mythological characters, within Justice League. Cool and all, but if that's the case, if we went in that route, we would not have any Hispanic characters when it comes to the Justice League. We have to keep that in mind. So we can't have that mindset. Well, we can't have these. Well, we want to have these grand, amazing, superheroes, sure, but if that's the case, we're going to go classic, with all of them. We're not going to have any characters Hispanic or Latinx, unfortunately. Right. So we got to look towards newer, fresher takes on these superheroes. We got to go modern. We got to go offset and find something to really, I don't want to say make up for lost time, but we need someone that's going to really stand out amongst Superman, Wonder Woman, and a lot of these really great characters as well.
Fucker's going to make me mess around and create one and start to write one and possibly put one out, because I'm just tired of not seeing it, and I don't know what the issue is, but something needs to happen, that's for sure. So, well, maybe in San Diego I'll be inspired to start writing an original superhero that's Latino. We shall see. John Cooper says, we'll see what happens with Black Adam and Hawkman. I'm looking forward to it. Alex and I having a spirited discussion about it. Certainly hope you all let us know what you think. Send in your Streamlabs and Super Chats. Give us your thoughts here. We got about 30 minutes left in the show, but let us know what side you're on or what your feeling is about the idea of Aldous Hodge being Hawkman and hooked up into the Black Adam universe, what it could mean to have a black man who's an immortal who has seen the country and the world through numerous centuries, and what happened to black people during those times. How interesting that might be. John Cooper saying, hey, what up, John and Alex? Here's a small donation for you. Thank you, John. Appreciate that. And then we got one more here, I think, right at the bottom. Yeah, here we go. It's Ryan Payne. Thank you, Ryan. Make a limited series around milestone characters. Absolutely. Milestone comics, certainly. Yes, go ahead.
Also, Ryan, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, Ryan.
Oh, happy birthday, Ryan. All right. Feliz cumpleaños. Happy birthday, Ryan. Andrew G said a good point. It's not as simple as though it's just to create a new character. If it doesn't sell, you can only put it out there so long. Of course, Andrew G. That's the minimum accepted understanding of the situation. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't try. It doesn't mean there shouldn't be many people trying. It doesn't mean that these creators, or not creators, I'm sorry, these executives at these comic book companies and these executives at studios for film and television shouldn't be out there trying to motivate and push and fight these writers to create stuff like this so that they can create series off of it. So, and he said, I agree with you though. They need more original ones. Yes. Original ones. I appreciate Jessica Cruz as Green Lantern, but it's not the same thing. So anyway, happy birthday, Ryan. Much love to you, brother. Thanks for sending in that. I appreciate it. Andrew G also sent in a Streamlab. He says, what up, Rocha, Alex, and Alex's Cats, and Outlaw Nation? I've been catching up on The Boys season 2, and holy cow, give Anthony Starr all the awards. His performance of Homelander this season is incredible. What a psycho. I love it. Get on it if you're not. I can't agree with you more, Andrew G. He is so damn good this season. They gave him so much to work with. And you as a viewer who ended that season really hating him the first season, you go into this season, he's a massive asshole, and then you see why he's becoming this way, and why it's getting worse and worse, and you start to see the vulnerabilities and how dangerous it is to have a man-child with a lot of power in charge of a group of people that could destroy the planet or the country. I'm just saying. And then having someone who is even worse right behind him, who's a home front, who is the Aya Cash character, having her approach to minorities, her racist approach to people of color and people of lower economic status, how that could ruin the country. It's just incredible. If you're not watching season 2 of The Boys, you're really, really missing out. Have you watched any of this stuff, Alex?
Yeah, I've seen The Boys. Absolutely. It's Lucas hates that show. I really enjoy the show. He hates it. He actively hates it. He's read the comics, and he really didn't like the comics either.
Oh, the comics are rough. The comics are rough. Yeah.
It's just purposeless. Like I could not get into it. Overall, it's a really, I think it's really, I actually really enjoy the show. I don't find it particularly edgy or anything like that, but it's just really cool how I really like Stormfront in particular. She's kind of such an interesting character to have on screen, and also she is this, in theory, potentially immortal, storm character, with control of like lightning or whatever, and that she flies, super strength and all that good stuff. But also she's an incredible racist.
Yes.
She was part of the Third Reich and Nazi Party and all that good stuff. She was like an active participant in everything.
Yeah.
So it was really, but I think it's really interesting and reflective of what's going on in our country today, talking about how, when it comes to like racism and when it comes to being part of a lot of these groups, they're very like, she had like her phone out, she's live streaming the entire thing, she's like making memes and whatever, her people, it's all about making it easy to digest, making it funny, making light of these horrible situations, fake news, things like that, of like horrible things that have happened. And so it was like seeing her kind of be like, hey, as a racist, as a horrible person that was a huge proponent of the Third Reich, this is how I'm doing it today. This is how I'm trying to bring it back. I'm trying to go through these routes. I'm trying to make it cool and appealing for people, to join us. Isn't that bad? But we make memes, people. How bad can we be? Yeah. That's what she's thinking.
Yeah.
So
the uncomfortable truth of that situation for sure.
Yeah.
Oof. Let's see here. Dane Smith says, not watching live, just want to send in some support to you all. Much love to the kitty cat trolling you while you're trying to work.
The struggle is real, Dane. I appreciate that. I really do.
It is. Corey Scott Johnson said, John, have you started Lovecraft Country yet? Oh my God, it is amazing. HBO has been killing it. First Watchmen and now this. No, I have not started Lovecraft Country yet. Trust me, there is a Saturday coming where I'm just going to watch them all back to back to back in my new office, which I'm setting up and having the TV in there, and I'll be able to relax and maybe I'll do a review of it as well with one of the Geek Buddies guys and have a conversation about it, or bring in Winston or Jay to come in and review it with me as well. So I'm excited to take a look at it, but I'm hearing nothing but awesome things. And my girl, Blurred Girl, she talks about it every week. So I'm looking forward to getting a jump onto this. Have you watched any of it, Alex?
No, I don't have. Well, I do have HBO Go, but I can't have it pull it up on the big screen. I can only pull it up on my laptop, which is unfortunate. So do better, HBO Go people, or fire whoever's making this a huge struggle. Yeah. But I've heard nothing but great things about that show as well. I would love to dive into it. It is like exactly a show that I would be into. Right. I'm all about Lovecraftian weird monster movies. Oh, yo. I love monster movies and I love Lovecraftian stuff. Do we need to talk about The Mist? I will talk about The Mist. Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it. Yeah. Let's see. Zeno Hour agrees with you. The show is such an improvement over the comics, being the boys. I agree. Oh, breaking news here. Yeah. Live action Lion King sequel is announced, directed by Barry Jenkins. All right. Why are we getting a sequel to The Lion King again? Didn't we?
Do you not remember there was a Lion King 2 with called Simba's Pride? It was about Simba's daughter that fell in love with Scar's son. So it's like a weird cousin incestuous situation. So I wonder if they're going to go that route.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Yeah. Of course, Barry Jenkins from Moonlight and If Beale Street Could Talk. And I think it's a smart move replacing the white director of the first film about a film set in Africa. That'd be Jon Favreau, with a black director like Barry Jenkins, who has notable credits and very strong director himself. So smart move, I think, overall by Disney to do that. Smets had his baby. Smets had his baby Smash is here, according to Haskell. Smets and Mrs. Smets just announced on Twitter and Facebook. Kira Sophia Smets. Oh, that's a great name. Born 6 pounds, 8 ounces, revolving hearts. We love you 3000. Hashtag baby smasher. Hashtag already in love. Wow. So much love to our man, Kevin Smets over there, the smasher. An all around awesome guy. Really one of the best dudes I've met in the Schmodown, one of the best guys. And I'm proud to call him a friend and I'll be a friend with him whether we're in the Schmodown or not. And I can't say that about a lot of people, but certainly Kevin Smets is one of them. And congratulations to him and his wife and their new baby bouncing child of joy. Alex, what do you think here?
Oh, my heart goes out to them. I'm so excited for both of them. What an awesome name, by the way.
Right?
Kira Sophia Smets. I mean, that's a rock star name if I ever heard one. Yeah. It's fantastic. And perfect. I cannot wait to see pictures.
Yeah. I don't want to post the pictures. I don't want to violate any kind of privacy you might want to have.
Oh no, I can't wait to see them though later.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
John Mitchell says, "Hey, Rocha, little lady." Whoa, John. No.
Excuse me.
Yeah. No, John. No. Please. Alex.
What? What?
Oof.
Okay. There's only one little lady on screen. And that's little Daphne Keene. That's right next to Logan. Okay.
That's right.
Right here, yeah. Right there. And I love me some Daphne Keene. So don't you call her a little lady either. Okay, that's rude. Right. I know you're a PlayStation guy, but what do you think about Microsoft? Are you really just gonna bypass that comment, John? Are you just really being super casual of calling me? No, I'm not saying that. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about like reading it, John Mitchell. Okay. John Mitchell, are you really just gonna like super casual, go up there and just call me little lady? How dare you?
Yeah. Thanks for the $10, pal, but that's not how you come into this stream. So I look for your $10 apology. Maybe a $20 apology would make sense, I think. Just to say. Just saying. All right. Anyway. I'll play this thing. We got 166 y'all watching us live. Thank you so much. But only 90 likes. Come on, people. Let's get above that 100. Let's get above that 100 mark, that Hundy mark, and let's start marching towards 150. Swing that cursor over there. Hit that thumbs up button. Give us some love. And we're a little light on Super Chats and Streamlabs today, so maybe y'all ain't liking the topics. Let us know. I think we're having good, fun-spirited conversation with you all about it. So, all right. Let's move on to our next topic here. Alex, what do we have? Oh, yeah, that's right. Madam Masque. So this is a rumor that's coming to us from The Direct, which I didn't know too much about, did some research on. I kind of like the way they're approaching things, so I thought I put this in there. This is in no way substantiated by the studio or anything like this, but The Direct released, this is Aaron Mer Eclarinol is his name. I hope I'm saying that right. But apparently they have heard rumors that Madam Masque is going to possibly be a villain in the Hawkeye series for Disney+. Madam Masque, was otherwise known as Giulietta Nefaria, is a skilled hand-to-hand combatant who is best known for her expertise in robotics. She wears a golden mask to cover her disfigured face, and the mask is capable of deflecting bullets. She's better known as a villain for the Iron Man series, but she is an occasional love interest of Iron Man, of course, metal. But Madam Masque has also had run-ins with Clint Barton and Kate Bishop. Remember, Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop is a part of this series, and she's had confrontations with Bishop and Barton in the country of Madripoor. And Madripoor is the setting that is interesting because Madripoor is rumored or considered to be a setting to appear in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So connecting all this up as well. They've had multiple run-ins, as I just stated, and which led to the revelation that one of the villain's clients, one of Madam Masque's clients from her illegal operations, is Kate Bishop's father. So we know that it isn't going to be a Jeremy Renner series fully. I mean, don't cast Haley Steinfeld to turn her into a sidekick to Jeremy Renner. That ain't how this is going to go. It seems like Jeremy Renner is going to set this thing up. They're going to use the Matt Fraction Hawkeye series. By the way, if you haven't read the Matt Fraction Hawkeye series, get your ass on that. It is a fantastic Hawkeye series with Kate Bishop as well. And then I think what they're going to do is just going to introduce Barton for the first few episodes. Then it's going to be the Haley Steinfeld Hawkeye Kate Bishop situation, and Madam Masque may become her main enemy throughout this series. So this is a rumor, not substantiated, but fuck it. I love talking about this shit. I know other outlets get nuts about talking about these things, but I love having conversation with the fans about things like this. What do you think about this, Alex? Do you like this idea, this prospect of Madam Masque being a part of this Kate Bishop Hawkeye situation?
Not really. They're kind of awesome. Well, to be completely honest, she's not. If we're gonna go with the villain, if we're gonna go from a villain from this world, she's definitely not one of the. She's not one of my favorite villains, to be honest. I think there's a lot of other alternatives. I I could be completely proven wrong, and it's just, she's a very much a disfigured woman,
Yeah.
supposedly, where she's highly intelligent, obviously, but she covers her scars and disfigurements with this bulletproof gold mask.
Yeah.
Cool. It sounds like what's her face from Miss Poison or whatever her name is from Wonder Woman. Cool.
Oh yeah.
Just putting that out there. It's just, I'm not too excited about it, to be completely honest. I love seeing amazing, badass, female villains. Obviously, I mean, who the heck doesn't? I would hate to be one of the big, consistent female villains, to be our first real consistent, reoccurring ones, to be one that's on TV, not on the big screen, but whatever.
All right. So, all right. Well, I mean, she was in the second season of Agent Carter already, and played by Wynn Everett in that. She's been around for a little bit of time, since 1968. Tales of Suspense number 68. She's the daughter of master criminal Count Lucchino Nefaria from Italy. Her mother died when giving birth, and then he wanted his daughter to lead a respectable life, so he gave her up to another person, Byron Frost, a wealthy financier and employee, and his wife Loretta, to raise her. And then from there, all the things that happen. She's been a part of Masters of Evil, Inner Guard. She's had a partnership with Hood. She's also been known under different names like Big M, the director, and Chrissy Longfellow. Oh, Longfellow. She's, like I said, skilled hand-to-hand robotics, expert markswoman, master strategist, and organizer. So I hear you, but if it's cast with the right person, could be a lot of fun to see this playing out it's ground level, right? She isn't like an alien, and she isn't like super powered. She's very much a person who has a very complicated background, complicated upbringing, could bring a kind of edge to the series as a villain. But I hear you too. I hear you that it might not be 100% what you want to see from her being disfigured and all of that. But I don't know. Could be interesting to have a brilliant a villain on the other side of things that she has to find a way around or negotiate.
Absolutely. Everything that you kind of just described, I would love to see a brilliant female badass villain. I would just love to see that on the big screen. I don't want to see again. I don't want to see my favorite, potentially favorite, reoccurring, amazing, crazy smart, really vicious villain. Only to see her on the small screen. If we're gonna, I went back and saw clips, from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I was like, I don't like it. But I also don't like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So I
don't like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. either.
It's like, if we're gonna talk about Agent Carter, that's another conversation.
True.
But so I feel like, I feel like if they're gonna go big, just go big, go crazy, get fantastical. I don't want this. I wouldn't want it to be just, I don't know. It just seems like it would be like if it's gonna be the villain to Haley Steinfeld's character, it would be like, it would almost seem like a little baby villain by comparison.
Baby villain, I like it.
A little baby villain. Oh, little baby villain, that's so cute.
I like it. Oh shit, John Woka in the house. Oh shit, John Woka in the house. You fucking idiots. Anyway, all right, let's move on to what else we got. Let's take a break right now. Alex, tell us what you got going on in your life and what you got working on. What are you working on to get the people excited about following and watching your stuff?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm so excited. Tonight we're going to be diving into, with Ryan Payne for his birthday. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so much fun. We're going to be diving into tonight, also to buy is To Catch a Thief. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh, nice. To Catch a Thief. The Hitchcock. Nice.
Yeah. So Drew has never seen this movie before. How is beyond me. I cannot wait to talk about this movie, and also I feel an incredible need to wear stripes all day. But Grace Kelly, oh my gosh, Grace Kelly. Oh, beautiful. Yes, so stunning. Yes, so we're going to be kind of diving into that with Ryan Payne as a patron, and also here later this week, on Wednesday, I'm going to be hosting. Well, actually, scratch that, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm going to be hosting at 9:00 Pacific, midnight Eastern. Oh my gosh, it's going to be crazy late. It's going to be a Usual Suspects themes schmobate. So it's going to be super duper fun. And, we're going to be diving into it. It's going to be really great because Janine the Machine herself is going to be my co-host. I have an amazing ghost nice. Judge.
Okay.
I'm so excited. I can't even put it into words. I'm so excited. So we got a bunch of things coming up here on Chilled Action here pretty soon. We have both Rachel Cushing and Sam Levine coming up on Chill, here this weekend. So we got a bunch of stuff coming up on, at the Call to Action podcast.
That's great. That's awesome. I love it. As for the Outlaw Nation, you know what we do here. There's so many things going on. Yesterday, we had another awesome game time. This time, we had Kaiser stepping in for Jay. Jay was prepping for his Weakest Link watch along tonight. Don't forget about that. He's got the Weakest Link watch along tonight going on. So we did, but the episode was gangbusters. We had almost 700 people watching us live yesterday for the entire sports show for the 2 hours. Pretty incredible. Our new start time at 1:30 p.m. on Mondays. Pretty incredible stuff to see them. Kaiser was fantastic. So if you missed that episode, go back and watch it. Talk the NFL, the NBA, and a little MLB playoffs as well. Plus, Matt Nost and I dropped our new top 10 episode this morning. It's top 10 films under 90 minutes. Top 10 films under 90 minutes. We've really tried to talk about films that we haven't talked about in a long time. So we've kind of changed the top 10 a little bit to be exploring more of these films that we haven't talked about so that you all feel like they're fresh and new and exciting episodes that you can tune in and enjoy. That's available on the YouTube channel and on our podcast channel. So don't forget about that. That's going on as well. And of course, tonight, a very special Impolite Truths tonight. I think the start time will be at 5 p.m. PT because that's the debate starts at 6, but I'm going to try to convince Dorina we can start at 5 p.m. PT because at 5:25 I got to jump off and go interview Cody Smith McPhee for a deep cut for about an hour and then jump back onto the debate. So we are going to have a live watch-along debate that Dorina and I are going to host. We might have guests popping in as well. So come and join us tonight at 5 p.m. PT. I'm going to put the link out a little bit later on today for that presidential debate that's going on here. The Outlaw Nation show will be pushed to probably Thursday, and I might have a really special guest lined up for that as well, and I'm looking forward to letting you know who that might be as my last LA Outlaw Nation show in LA. I want to line up someone really special for that. Hopefully, the person can come through. I'm going to reach out to them today and see what their schedule is like and try to make it happen. All right, let's hit some Streamlabs and Super Chats before we jump into our last news story here, Alex, unless we run out of time here. We'll see. Trishka Productions donated. He said, you don't need 500 million people to like you, only 5 million angry people. You have fans while I have an army. Stormfront. Oh, yeah, that's true. Very true. We're seeing that play out in our world right now. Andrew G said, we for sure don't need a sequel to The Lion King, but the Boys spinoff about a college of supers coming could be really fun. Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious because those college supers are in the first few pages of the first issue of the comic book series, and what they're doing is pretty unsavory. So I wonder how they'll make that work, but it makes sense. Go young to get the people, you get that demographic involved in your stuff. What about you, Alex? Do you want to see a spinoff set in college of The Boys?
Do I want a spinoff? Yes. Do I want one set in college? No. The Boys is already so aggressive.
Yeah, true.
And sometimes difficult to watch.
Okay.
And thing is, I would really be curious to see what kind of world they would spin if they wanted to go in the college level. Yeah. Because if they do that, they're probably going to try to get more racy and even more aggressive than they already are. And I wouldn't want to appreciate that personally. But it's not for me. The thing is, what stories I would love to see is more of a coming of age super situation. You know, like I would love to see much more focus on Homelander's kid. You know, like with like I can't remember her name, but his mom was like, if you know, I know exactly, like I would do it right in front of my kid. And I was like, if I would kill myself, and I would do it in this way. And I would say, Homelander did this to me. And that's in order to make my kid hate Homelander so much. And I'm like, dang, girl, you thought this out. No. I would have loved to see a real focus on his character, him battling himself, discovering his powers and things like that. I don't want to focus on a bunch of frat guys being like, oh, let's see how quick we can chug this beer while, doing this, or talking about, like a date rape or something like that as a super. That's not something I want to see personally.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, Chantel Van Stanton plays the mom. I loved her on The Flash. So it was great to see her pop up on The Boys. She's such a good actress, Canadian actress, I believe. So much love to her. All right, let's see. Alan Smithy donated. Thank you, Alan. He says, morning, Rocha and Alex. Alex, thanks again for the great trivia show. Tell Rocha how I did. How did he do?
He did really fantastic. He lasted like eight rounds, honestly. He did pretty wonderful.
Good job.
He did fantastic.
He says,
he did like 7 or 8 rounds.
7 or 8 rounds. Wow. All right. He says, I hear I might have scored a killer call to action t-shirt. He says, I hear I might have scored a killer call to action t-shirt. I'm a size XL. Thanks to both of you all for your awesome shows and letting folks like me join in. Yeah, Alex, does he have a shirt coming? I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean, as he did not win, but he is our MVP of the whole. So he is getting a shirt coming. I thought someone had messaged you, but I will follow up with that. You said XXL. Noted. XL. Oh, thank you for correcting me. XL. And I'll make note of that. And I'll follow up with you. I'll message you here on Facebook pretty soon. So keep your DMs open.
There you go, Smithy. Tushka donated some more. He said, I would love to see a Native woman exacting revenge from the grave on her rapists and murderers. Holy shit. Then she continues to protect other Native women that are being attacked. # Operation Lady Justice.
If we want to talk about, some, badass ladies with some powers, can we talk about, Aborigines women, or if we can talk about Native American women and talk about them with powers?
I like that idea. I like that idea a lot.
Man.
Let's make it happen.
Oh man. Yeah. I want to see that in a movie so bad, or a TV show. Oh man.
I love when you nerd out. It's one of my funniest things. You have a nerd gap. Oh yeah. Ryan Payne says, even if you don't like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I would suggest you watch season 4. No! It's a great soft reboot for the show and a reintroduction to Ghost Rider. Look, I know. I love Ghost Rider as a character. It's a fucking crime that Nicolas Cage movie is what we have, or those movies is what we have. We need to have a damn good Ghost Rider. I like that they made him Latino for the show. I totally dug that. But there's too much about that show I don't like. There's too much of CW acting on an ABC show, and it's just not for me. No offense. Just not for me.
I've seen quite a few episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I didn't care. I didn't like it. I'm sorry. I don't like anything from the Arrowverse at all. I tried watching Green Lantern.
Right.
That's why not Green Lantern. I tried watching Green Arrow. Nope. Flash. Yeah. Nope. Yeah. I tried watching a handful of those shows, just did nothing for me.
Yeah.
I was actively annoyed with 90% of the characters. Actively annoyed. It's awful.
Not disrespectful, a different opinion. Not disrespectful.
I'm sorry. It's just it's just not for me. It's not for me. And I recently, I love that people love it. Yeah. There's no shame in you loving it. I love it. That's fantastic. Good for you. That's wonderful. Thing is, I also there's different tastes. I also don't like Breaking Bad. That's fine. That's whatever. So it's whatever.
Fair. You're right. Yeah. You're allowed to like or not like whatever you like, and just because you don't like it, just because someone doesn't like it, doesn't mean somehow it's an indictment of you. For God's sakes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Absolutely. Just reaffirming everything you just said.
Yeah. Please, you're allowed to like whatever you like. All right. Let's move on. Do we have? Do you want to do the last story? Do you want to do the Lord of the Rings things real quick?
I do. I want to take the last story. Heck yes, I do. Guys, get the flip ready. We're getting movies back to getting shot in one country in particular, a little country known as New Zealand. Have you heard of it? Maybe. Okay, guess what other movies have been filmed in New Zealand? Lord of the Rings. Guess what? Why? Because the Lord of the Rings TV show, remember the one like Rachel Cushing was like crazy about? Well, it's coming back. Okay, it's being continuing shot. They've shot like 2 episodes, and then this happened, and they're like, oh my gosh, we need a halt production. That sucks. And they were like, nah, bruh, I got you. We're gonna continue filming again and we're going to continue filming again. It's pretty fantastic. If we're going to talk about countries that have been amazing through this whole COVID situation, through this pandemic, people that actually take this seriously, look no further than that little island country, known as New Zealand, because they are doing wonderful over there. And they're also very vocal about, they're showing like commercials and stuff talking about, hey, everywhere else is horrible, but not in New Zealand, especially when it comes to filming movies. Heads up, send us your money. Now, not only Lord of the Rings, they're only a few episodes in, and I am mega excited about that. Wonderful. Also, can't forget another little TV show / movie situation known as Cowboy Bebop. Forget about that. Yes, It's happening still. It's coming back. Oh my gosh, yes, it's happening again. So John Cho, from like Searching, Star Trek, all that good stuff. He is also affiliated with it. It's going to be fantastic as Spike, obviously. They're continuing filming again. I can't put into words how ecstatic I am for both of these productions to be returning to production. I need this so bad, guys. Please give it to me.
Yes, I sense that she does need it very badly. So please give it to her. Yes, I 1,000% agree with Alex. I think this is great that productions are slowly starting to come back. New Zealand is gold. Cinema Gorilla, absolutely. My lady lived in New Zealand for 3 years. She loved it. We've low-key been talking about it as a future and destination for us, New Zealand. So I'm excited to see films and TV shows starting to pop up there more and start doing their productions, because they're one of the people that jumped on this COVID situation quickly. The Prime Minister was smart about it. She got everybody wearing masks. She shut down stuff until they were cleared up, and then no cases were happening. And then she slowly started opening the country back up. There was even Comic-Cons at New Zealand, and nobody got COVID off those Comic-Cons, as opposed to a Sturgis rally where 250,000 people got COVID off of that stupid ass rally. So there's a difference there. And so we're starting to slowly look at that possibility. So I like the fact that these production companies understand what's happening down there, understand that that's a very safe place to go shoot. And hopefully more and more productions will find themselves in New Zealand and will be shooting more and more things down there and helping the economy overall, and also keeping that country safe for sure. But it's a blast, and I think we're going to try to visit it at some point next year for a week or so and enjoy that country and see it through her eyes, because I definitely want to go down there. Australia, okay, but New Zealand is really where I want to explore more than anything else. So I love this is happening. People love this Lord of the Rings series. I'm actually looking forward to this Lord of the Rings series. I think I might enjoy it more than the Lord of the Rings movies. So I want to kind of like dive into this world. So I'm happy that they're shooting again, and all love and honor and respect to John Cho. And I'm glad he's recovered from the injury that he suffered while they were shooting Cowboy Bebop. So to see him coming back and this starting to happen again is good, because John Cho is one of the good ones out there, and he needs to have a lead once and for all, more than just that film Searching, which people liked, and more than just playing Sulu in Star Trek. John Cho is a lead actor. Certainly Harold and Kumar, really funny stuff, but won his own thing, and Cowboy Bebop could be his own thing that launches him into the stratosphere, and he certainly deserves it as an actor who's dropped a lot of great work over the years. So shout out to him. All right. Let's see. All right. There we go. All right. We're at 9:45. Let's wrap this thing up, Alex. Thank you all so much for watching Mornings with the Outlaw today. We're going to get into some Borat news, but there's a sequel and it's a very long title. Go and research that. Very fun. My 2 cents are, I don't know if that humor is going to work anymore nowadays, because the president is essentially Borat. So I don't know if it's going to work at all in our world, that kind of humor, but we shall see. Anyway, Alex, one more time, where can they find you and what's going on in your world?
It's kind of funny because I think that movie has probably already been made, realistically.
Probably true, yeah.
What's up? Yes, you can find me on Twitter where I post pictures of my very obnoxious loud cats.
I love you.
And you can also find me on Cinema Bias tonight at 10 o'clock Central. It's so much fun. Guys, please come hang out. We really appreciate it. And at the Call to Action podcast, I work so hard at being part of that group. And, we would love to see more people kind of check it out. So.
Yeah, there you go. Please do. Please check it out and give her some love. Give the Call to Action people some love too. I love the people over there. They've been nothing but supportive of the Outlaw Nation, and I owe a huge debt to those people over there, especially my man Jake Iacovetta. Much love to the beardless one. Jake Iacovetta now. Just that mustache, just that Aaron Rodgers mustache he's got going on. Whatever your opinions are about that, they're your opinions about that. So thank you all so much. Please follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well, especially if you're new to this content, you're discovering the stuff we're doing here. And new people discover the Outlaw Nation all the time. They send me little messages. They send me tweets. It's pretty great. They leave comments here, all this stuff. So I love bringing new people into the nation. So please subscribe down below. We crossed that 14,000 mark finally. So let's start marching towards 15,000 and 20,000 after that. So much new content is coming through. We just dropped also a review of Agents of Chaos, that new HBO 4-hour documentary series that was dropped from Alex Gibney, who did that Scientology series for HBO. Steve Morris, my cinephile co-host, joined me for that review, about 35 minutes of us discussing the content of that documentary, the construction of that documentary, and the effectiveness of that documentary. That is up on the channel now. We dropped it yesterday, so please be a part. Please go take a look at that. Jedi Way as well. Dropped a new episode just last Thursday. And of course, Strong Style, the wrestling episode. We did a watch along from a match from Fall Brawl 1996. That is up on the channel as well. All right, that's all the gabbanagook from me. Follow me down below, or gobbledygook rather. Follow me down below. Subscribe to the channel. Hit a like on this video and leave a comment. More likes, more comments, raises the visibility, and brings more people into the nation. All right, much love to you all. I don't know yet if we're going to have a show on Thursday. It's going to depend on the move and the scheduling and all of that. If we do have a show, it might be a truncated 1-hour show because I have to get on the road to San Diego right afterwards. So, and then pack up everything right after the show is done into the car and head on over to San Diego. We shall see, but I'll let you know, and I'll let Alex know as well when I find out. All right, much love to all of you. Take care of yourselves. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. Thank you, Alex, for joining me yet again, and we'll talk to you next time on another episode of Mornings with the Outlaw. What do we tell him, Alex?
Wear a mask, guys. Just wear a mask.
It's not that hard.